Hello, everybody. This is actually, for once, a pre-video that we're doing because we're about to go see something that's been skyrocketing in popularity recently, but we're not gonna spoil it yet. This is actually just a little...
Deadpool.
Fuck you, buddy!
Okay, there's not that many movies out right now.
Well, actually, The Witch has been getting good reviews lately, or because it just opened. But, yeah, not too many big openings this weekend. Weirdly enough, well, not weirdly enough, last weekend, Valentine's Day, was the big opening weekend for movies, but I couldn't do anything because I had family plans, and same with him. But we're gonna see, well, I already saw one movie from that weekend, and we're gonna see another one again, Deadpool. Fuck you, buddy. In just a few minutes, but this is gonna be a seminar on a movie called How to Be Single, or How Rom Coms Have Gone to Die.
Yeah.
He didn't even see this, and he could already get a feel for how it went.
Yeah.
I went to it last night. I tried recording it on my phone just to try something new, but I did get a decent amount of points in, but my phone is really, really dumb, and it limited my amount of time. I could have gone on for possibly an hour, but I was hanging out with him before this, and we were grabbing a bite to eat. I told him everything that he needed to know about this, and true or false, did you feel that you already saw that you would have already seen this movie? You could have mapped out everything. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. So, How to Be Single, or How Rom-Coms Have Gone to Die. I'm making that a secondary title. Stars Dakota Johnson, Rebel Wilson, Allison Brie, and Leslie Mann as four women in New York who are either looking for the right man, the one who will always be with them, one who's exploring the playground, one who's a drunk slut, and one who wants to be an independent woman. If those don't sound like any form of stereotypical jokes against feminism, then get out of your mom's basement and actually talk to people, because I was chuckling the whole time about how much of archetypes they are, and just about how almost everything about this is 100% cliched, right down to the terrible writing. Right off the bat, Dakota Johnson, who is one of the few high points of this, oh my god, is she sexy in this. Like, and not even just because of her looks, but she actually does have this form of innocence where she actually seems charming, but then again, that innocence comes to bite her in the ass because of how dumb she is later on in this movie. She's on a break from her all throughout college boyfriend and is exploring the playground of New York. Another thing I wanted to say about this tries so hard to be Sex in the City. This is almost exactly Sex in the City because it's talking about these four women who treat New York as either their motivation for independence or their sex playground. Except this one's done worse because it tries to take itself seriously. Allison Brie is clingy and wants to try and find the perfect man through statistics and algorithms of dating sites, but then, again, by God, she's clingy and psychotic. Rebel Wilson, oh my fucking god. You can agree with this too. What have you seen her in?
Who?
The fat blonde one. She was the
Bridesmaids?
Yeah, she was the weird, annoying neighbor in Bridesmaids, which everyone thought she was hilarious for. She's just trying to be Melissa McCarthy. She's trying to be Melissa McCarthy from The Heat in this, where she's just open about everything. She gets drunk a lot, she parties a lot, she has sex a lot. And when have we ever seen that female character before? Oh yeah, in almost every piece of female media in the past 10 years, there always has to be some form of contrast. At least these movies think they need to have a form of contrast about the sweet innocent lead and their best friend who's a roar person. Oh, and Leslie Mann, she's Dakota Johnson's sister, and know how I'm talking about these people only by their actors' names? Yeah, that's because their characters have no identity in this. Leslie Mann, she actually looks really good in this, even though I think she's around like 40 or 50. She's an OBGYN who's an independent woman who doesn't need anything holding her down from her success. She has one 5-minute or few-minute session alone with someone else's child, and she just decides off the bat, I need a baby. Yeah, it's weird that only one interaction with an infant can change her life when she's probably had around hundreds of other babies delivered before.
That's one of the things I brought up, which was, you love how in romantic comedies the extremes these go to, and the spectrums that can go from 0 to 10 in no time at all.
Yeah, this movie has a handful of huge tonal shifts that aren't even necessary. One of the biggest gripes I had with this was, and I was telling you this over food, there's a scene where it's the second guy that Dakota Johnson has come across, and he's the only black guy in the movie, played by Damon Wayans' son. That's the only way that I could reference him, because I don't remember his character's name, and he's literally the only black guy in this movie. He meets her once at an alumni function, meets her again on Christmas, shows her a really nice view of the Rockefeller tree. They make out. 3 months later, they are hanging out at his apartment because, he has a daughter, but he's not married. Possibilities. That gets the audience thinking a little bit. What happened in between then? All of a sudden, when she's playing with his daughter, some song pops up, and he flips the fuck out and takes her outside and says, "What are you trying to do? What are you trying to do? Are you trying to be her mom? You're not her mom. Why are you trying to be her mom?" And we're all like, what the fuck is going on? And all of a sudden, 3 important plot points are just thrown out in the span of about 5 minutes. 1, his wife died. Okay, we could have assumed that he was either that or a divorce. How else did it happen? This is all coming from Dakota Johnson telling him, wife died. I found out because of the doorman. When the fuck did that happen? And third, and most important of all, I knew you would never tell me because you never tell me anything. He's repressive. Why didn't that show that instead of just taking one gigantic fucking time jump over the span of 3 months, instead of actually even giving us clips of their relationship that went up to that point? This doesn't even try and show us anything. It just thinks that it can tell everything and not show anything and abide by the medium of film. And another problem with the terrible writing, aside from just randomly throwing in story shit, and this is a problem with most romantic comedies or comedies with romance in it, they think that they have to be blunt for every single character that they show, because the hookup artist, played by Anders Holm from Workaholics, he owns the bar that's right below Allison Brie, and he's like, I don't need to get involved in all that emotional stuff. I have nothing stocked in my fridge. I cut off my piping just so that the girls can leave. Yep, and it feels pretty good. I'm not going to be changed in the end by this. And, big fucking shock, he changes into a human being. Also, with a couple of other people I can't even remember that well, they think... Leslie Mann! I don't need a man. I don't need a man at all. I can go on perfectly fine without a man in my life. Big shock. She ends up with a guy who's wanting to be with her and her child. Oh yeah, she wants yeah, she wants a baby. She gets a sperm donor. She gets a nice guy that actually cares about her. But all she is just trying to be this push away bitch and was like, no, I don't want you. I don't want you. Even though you're constantly by my side and trying to cheer me up, I don't want you. I don't want you. Ugh.
Can I stop you for a brief moment?
Go for it. Sorry about that.
There we go. Much better.
Sorry about that. We had to fix the lighting a little bit. It was a little dark. But yeah, awful writing in this. The direction is also really weird because the director thinks that they can do tracking shots well, and the only tracking shots that are done in this are in small places. Tracking shots don't get me wrong. This is coming from not the film school guy. Tracking shots are better when you have big landscapes because then you can continue a shot on with good atmosphere and not just having it close-centered. Even in a big office like in Wolf of Wall Street, it works well. But in here, it's just in a small apartment where they try and throw it in, and
I haven't seen it, so.
But the concept of tracking shots needing big areas, right?
Not really. You've seen done it in single room bars. It can be. It's not about the space that's covered. It's about what's covered and how it's covered.
Okay.
Like the subjects, the people. The going from one conversation to another. That's the real beauty of a tracking shot.
Okay. Well, then again, these tracking shots show nothing.
Okay.
All it is just character center frame, walking around, doing a little bit of things. Nothing is said. Almost nothing is shown because it's almost all of it is close up. And there's even shaky cam in this when it isn't even needed. When there's a couple scenes where people are just talking, and it's still just shaking. I'm like, why is this necessary? This isn't a Zack Snyder movie. It's a fucking rom-com. And it also, what I also hate about this, and almost all romantic comedies, you can chime in about this, it paints the women as emotionally unstable idiots because it just, almost every one of these women is they aren't stable at all, and women can be emotionally unstable at times, but almost every single female in this movie is just in extreme mode constantly. Oh, extreme happy, I'm free, having fun. Oh no, I'm in a breakup. I'm gonna mope and act fucking nuts the whole time.
That's what I mean by how romantic comedies always have a spectrum of 0 and 10. There's no in between. Nobody even really feels human.
Yeah, one of the moments where I felt one of the characters wasn't human was the guy who stays by Leslie Mann's side. When he finds out that she's pregnant, he thinks that it's his, and as soon as he's told it's not his, he's still on board with oh, well, it's not mine. I'm still going to stay by your side because I want to be there for it. I want to, I'm like, you didn't even acknowledge the fact that she lied to you?
That's the kind of thing that a Lifetime movie network or original Lifetime movie network thing would set up to the husband would then probably want to kill you. In this case, is just treated like a ho you. That's so funny.
No, this is meant as a Lifetime movie with no murder in it.
I guess you could say that too. What was it? Oh yeah, you remember how I said how? Imagine if this movie went so low brow that she would actually get an abortion just to cheer him up.
Oh my god.
and maybe even say something like, "Can you put it in a glass jar so I could show everybody?"
Okay, luckily she's not that crazy or stupid. And yeah, she is told bluntly that she's crazy, even though and it thinks that it's being smart with it thinks that it's being smart towards the female demographic, when, in all honesty, most people think of this as common fucking sense. When she's in the early stages, she hasn't shown. There's no physical remarks yet. she said, don't call me crazy. Don't ever, you get the point, call a pregnant woman crazy. He does it twice to her, and she doesn't even act that crazy. She's just annoying. Granted, her acting is actually pretty okay, but everyone else is just, they seem like they're on autopilot. Like, there wasn't very good direction in this. Again, Dakota Johnson, she actually was charming in her innocence.
That's another thing about a lot of, not just romantic comedies, but comedies in general, where they think if we just let the actors be themselves, it'll be hilarious.
Which is why Vince Vaughn's career is now in the tank.
But no, you still need direction. You still need a decent enough script. Improvised lines work good when they happen in the moment, when they happen, and usually with the basis or like the foundation of a decent script already there. Like they'll add a little bit of their own extra flair to it, and that's what makes it better. But starting out with what seems like nothing and then just being like, okay, work your magic, and it's like, sex, drugs, that's it.
I could honestly believe that Rebel Wilson's character would have done that, because again, she's not fucking funny. Granted, if you find Rebel Wilson funny, more power to you. Like what you want. She's just a bigger, non-funny version of Amy Schumer, who we already said is a blonde version of Sarah Silverman. But Rebel Wilson thinks that she can be funny, or even the director thinks she can be funny, if she just spouts random statement garbage. And that's all she says in this, too. Like, in the climax, which is Dakota Johnson's birthday, which apparently, and also New York perceives all these people as fucking rich off their ass. She has a birthday party, yay, on a rooftop with a DJ, a full bar, and almost every single kind of decoration you could think of, plus good lighting. All from only being a paralegal for what, like, I think it's less than a year. It's less than a year she's a paralegal, but already she's able to afford all this shit. But she has all three guys that she slept with in the past year. Her ex-boyfriend, Tom the bar guy, Anders Holm, and the black guy. They're all brought to the party, all because Rebel Wilson says, I called them. I thought it'd be funny. Like, really? You're trying to ruin your best friend's life just so you could get a laugh? You bitch! And, she gives an excuse later about how...
Yeah, see, if that happened in real life, I'm pretty sure she would be taken by her hair and thrown out.
If any of this was realistic, she would have gotten so many diseases. Her liver would have gone through dialysis, and I should talk. But, Jesus... She is such a freaking roundhouse, like, random female person. She's a woo girl on steroids. You've seen How I Met Your Mother, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, have you seen Barney's explanation of a woo girl?
No.
Okay, so woo girls are drunk, well, not drunk chicks, but party chicks who go out to bars and they give off the perception like they're having fun, and every time they yell, "Woo!" it's underlying some form of negative, some negative on their life. Like a girl could be, "Woo! I have trouble with my parents and they won't accept me because of my job." For Rebel Wilson, "Woo! I like to have too much fun and not take life seriously."
Yeah.
That's all she is in this. She's a woo girl on steroids who has no redeemable qualities aside from, oh, she's the crutch for Dakota Johnson.
Yeah, and I mean, I've always said, or well, I haven't always said on these videos, but I've always told you that I've got nothing against romance, but
romance can be beautiful.
You have to approach it with at least enough realism, and at the same time make it simplistic. Don't have like this big sitcom web of bullshit.
It's an ensemble piece. This is trying to fit in the ensemble stuff of Love Actually, Valentine's Day, and New Year's Eve, which the last two are fucking awful. Valentine's Day is one of the worst movies I've ever seen.
Wow.
It's trying to fit in the ensemble with this feminist view. Yeah, again, feminism, where they paint the four leads as idiots. They try mushing that together, and it doesn't fucking work. First off, because ensemble stuff doesn't work because it doesn't take enough time to look at each of the characters and actually give them an identity.
Well, you can do that, but you need really good writing and
Exactly.
really good.
This writing is fucking terrible.
Also, really good acting. I can already tell, even without seeing the movie, that this movie probably didn't have much of a script to it. They just got a bunch of people together and said, let's have fun.
This is based on a book, though. It's based on a book, although I haven't read it, so I don't know if it's terrible or not. But
there are a lot of shitty movies that are based on books, so let's be honest.
Written by a woman. And again, the title, How to Be Single, is really goddamn pretentious because it thinks that being single is like an art that one masters. No. The only way that you're ever going to be... the easiest way to be single, be a shit person to everybody that you're around, don't care about anything that happens to you, and just say, fuck everybody, I'm going to live alone.
The one thing I could say about romantic comedies is that they never, ever blindside me, because I can tell I'm going to hate them right from the title.
But there are good romantic...
This one, How to Be Single, even though I haven't seen it, but judging by what you said,
I'll show it to you soon. Just for if we ever do like creative review purposes.
Okay. And then let's see, what was another one? God, I forget the name of it. It was like fat ugly friend of
Fat Slags.
Fat Slay. No, that's not it.
Well, Film Brain reviewed it.
It's this one movie where it's like everyone's got a flaw, or I don't know what it's called. It's like the fat ugly friend.
The Duff.
Duff, that was it.
Designated ugly fat friend.
Yeah. Just saying that title out loud. Wow, that would be the worst movie ever.
People have thought it was okay. And the Duff that they have in that isn't even ugly. She's actually kind of cute.
Yeah. Kind of like with Deadpool. He's supposed to be a lump of decomposing mass, but yet he actually looks pretty good, judging by the trailer.
He just looks like a sunburned chemo patient.
Yeah, like his skin's a little dry and everything, and it's like, oh, you look terrible. It's like, really?
We're getting off task.
Oh, well.
But I've told you constantly, and I've told several other people, there are good romantic comedies, and even possibly chick flicks. Chick flicks can be okay only if they're not used as an excuse. When I saw Valentine's Day, I tweeted immediately, "Oh my god, one of the worst movies I've ever seen." And another guy was like, "Oh, get off it. It's a chick flick." No, I'm not gonna get off of it.
You might as well just say, get off it. It's shit. What were you expecting?
And anybody can get into a romance if there's good direction, if there's good acting, and most of all, writing. If the characters are written where you can actually get to know them and actually care about what they go through, then that can make an intriguing couple and therefore an intriguing relationship. Chasing Amy did it well. Also, Silver Linings Playbook. It has funny moments, but it's still a great romance because it actually looks in depth into why these people should be together. That has no part of that is in How to Be Single, because it just goes for throwaway jokes which go nowhere. You can see every single plot point almost instantaneously. You could predict every single emotion and every sort of reaction that everybody's gonna do. It's just bad.
It's funny how in a lot of romantic comedies, even though it's in the damn title, I've seen better romance in fucking like action-oriented animes, and I don't even care. Like, I don't care about the romance in those, and yet I still believe those a lot more than shit like Trainwreck and, fuck. I can't even think of others off the top. Oh, White Chicks. There's another chick flick that, oh, God.
A chick flick that somehow has the Wayans brothers. Mm-hmm. Oh, God. But, yeah, there are a bunch of even action romances in action movies that are more believable than this.
Yeah.
What are ones that we could just think of off the top of our heads? Kyle Reese and Sarah Connor in Terminator. That's a more believable romance than anything in this.
Yeah.
Because we actually got to see them interact.
Yeah. It may have been under the guise of oncoming apocalypse, but still, I believe it.
Shaun of the Dead has a better romance than this.
Oh, any one of the Blood and Ice Cream trilogy movies.
Cornetto?
Yeah, well, yeah.
There's no romance in Hot Fuzz.
Right.
There is a reconciliation. Actually, no, there is a relationship in World's End because it's Steven and Sam.
Yeah.
That's a better romance than this.
It's a better romance. It's more. It's funnier.
It is actually funny.
God, but really, that's like comparing a fucking lemonade stand to Target, and a lemonade stand that probably recycles lemons with piss.
That's what I was just about to say. No, but in How to Be Single, there was only a couple of times where I kind of laughed. The biggest laugh that I had was near the end when Dakota Johnson's ex-boyfriend goes to her party. It's my party and I'll cry if I want to. I have everything, but I'm sad. She goes on the...
Does she actually say that?
No, but it's screaming it right away at the audience. But her boyfriend just sits by her side, shares a bottle of wine with her that he brought as a present, but he drank a third of it. And he just says a few words of dialogue I don't even remember. Next thing you know, they're making out. Oh, I missed you. Oh, I missed you. Oh, even though I'm getting engaged. Wait, what? So you thought that you could just hop on me as soon as you got engaged? I thought it was just funny because of how out of nowhere it was. And there are one or two other moments like that where it gets like a chuckle out of you, but having only that as your reliability for your comedy is not very good. And this is quintessential chick flick rom-com crap because it thinks that it's smart by just being blunt about its characters right away and thinking that the contrast that they go through in the end will make them fully developed, when really it's just, oh, this is what's going to happen, watch them go through it. That's almost every single romance movie that I've seen in the past 5 years. It did it in Pitch Perfect, which I still fucking hate that movie. Number one on movies that I hate but everyone else loves. It thinks that it's being funny by just being blunt. No, you're being stupid by being blunt. And this movie is blunt. It treats everybody like it treats the women like emotionally unstable idiots, and it treats the men as repressed dickheads because of the fucking out of nowhere psychotic choices that they make. And I didn't want to see any character in this go through any sort of change because they almost never do. And
when they do, it's probably like a one-click,
That's all it is.
Only zeros and tens, that's it.
Only a Sith deals in absolutes.
There's 10 people in this world, those who think binary and those who don't. Even though one or two of the performances were a little bit charming, the formula and basis around rom-com chick flicks like this is poison. It's poison because this is it's possibly setting up the trend for just these easy, quickly made
romantic comedies that aren't funny, they aren't romantic, and they aren't even the best to sit through because, and everyone passes this off because, oh, it's nice. It's a nice movie. It doesn't have anything mean in it. It has a happy ending. It's nice. It's fine. Nice does not mean good. If you want a movie that has actual story and actual emotion to it, you have to have conflict. And conflict in this doesn't work because the conflict is brought out of nowhere. You can at least side with that where if a movie has struggle in it, then it has to be subtly and slowly brought up. Pacing. Again, pacing, there's nowhere to be found in this or in any other rom-com that I've seen recently. So don't see this. If you're a chick, just please go in with a brain and try and process everything that's happening instead of just being like, oh, they're having fun. I want to have fun too. Yay!
Don't drag your boyfriend to it. How about that?
Yes.
Spare them.
I told him that the only reason I would see movies like this is if I had a girlfriend and I told her, you're not going to drag me to this unless you give me benefits either during or after. Because that'll be the only way that you can make up for this. I tolerate your crappy movie. You can tolerate doing something for me. All right.
See, and I would have just said, you'd have to pay for my ticket, but... Okay.
No, dude, you don't make chicks pay for anything. But...
If you're going to put me through this, you absolutely are going to pay for it, damn it.
Wait, one other thing, this movie is shallow as hell because it's pretty much directs women to have all men at bars buy them drinks. It also tries to make them shallow by describing the perfect man, having not be fat or ugly or wanting kids.
That's modern day feminism for you. It's used to be women are equal to men. But now it's, no, women are the superior gender. Men are the, I guess the roles have been switched.
Pretty much. Men are idiots. Women have power. I'm all for equality.
I'm all for equality either, but you know, these fucking relationships in these stupid movies are always so one-sided, and again, all it takes is some spilled milk for them to end it. And it's usually, why is it usually the woman who's always so petty, and we're supposed to act like, oh yeah, that makes sense, fuck you, dude, what did you do again? Oh yeah, fuck this. Just like in Trainwreck, you know, from what you described, just like in Trainwreck, she leaves him even though he has absolutely every right to be pissed at her. But
that's Leslie Mann and the boyfriend.
Yeah,
the baby mama and the boyfriend.
But he can't because she's already pissed at him for complete stupid reasons, and then she leaves him because she's mad at. Oh my God, I haven't even seen this movie and it pisses me off so much.
A little bit of a bias, but fuck it, I hated it.
Yeah.
But the only good thing is I snuck into this movie after watching Star Wars, which they made me pay $12 for a ticket, ripoff.
Recliner seats.
I did like Star Wars, but then again I thought, fuck it, I don't want to go home yet. I'll sneak into something else. I didn't pay a dime to see this movie. I'm not supporting its box office at all, thank God. And yeah, the only thing that it did for me was be able to give a review / seminar about how rom-coms are dying, and
yeah,
just so I could say fuck you, I didn't pay for you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we should probably head in. We are about to see the comic book movie that everybody is going nuts for, even though kids can't see it.
Mm-hmm.
Wait till you get a load of us.
Yep. See you in a bit.
Later.